We have all had times when our anger flares up like a fire in our hearts. Anger burns away all peace and calm in our thoughts. Anger hurts other people too. Additionally, it kills us from the inside out, causing us to lose control and stealing our joy. Peace. But have you considered whether you can completely control your anger so it disappears? Stoicism gives you the power to take charge of your life. There are some timeless ideas that can help us manage and even get rid of anger. Stoicism is not only a way of life, it's also the key to living a joyful life, inner peace that teaches us how to stay cool in all situations. I'm going to teach you some important lessons from this video. There are theoretical lessons that can help you avoid becoming angry. Please listen again. Only when you understand will Stoicism be powerful. Can you control how your thoughts and feelings work? Trust me after. If you understand these ideas, your anger will no longer be in charge. As you said, anger is like a fierce fire. It destroys everything. If it starts to burn, everything around it will be destroyed. It not only hurts relationships, but also the person who holds on to it. People who are frustrated often feel like they deserve something, but they don't realize it. Horace, a Roman poet, once said that anger is a short-term madness that makes people lose themselves. When we're angry, our worst emotions and decisions can cause us to lose our minds and often lead to long-lasting sorrow. Have you ever been satisfied with your life when the anger has subsided, or more accurately, do you feel a weight on your soul? In the moment, we might experience feelings of sadness and guilt. Speak out against family members who inflict harm on others over trivial matters. We understand that we could have resolved everything peacefully if we hadn't allowed our anger to control us. When emotions take control, Stoics assert that anger is not an appropriate response. Epictetus told us that what bothers us is not an outside enemy, but an inside one. But how we feel about things, he can't totally control the world, but we can. How we choose to see things will determine how we respond to them. Choose whether to be slaves to our anger or to stay free in the peace of anger. Not only does it damage our minds, but it also causes significant harm to our bodies. Many medical studies have shown that people who hold their anger for a long time are more likely to have heart disease. Diseases like high blood pressure and long-term worry are clear examples of this in everyday life. When we get angry, our hearts beat faster and our breathing gets heavy. Our bodies enter a high-stress state. Is it really worth giving up anger? Long-term health and happiness, as well as the teachings of Stoicism, are crucial. Jesus taught us how to accept and be tolerant. Jesus said, if someone slaps you on the right cheek, strike them on the other cheek. This is not a sign of weakness. This is a prime example of managing your emotions through acceptance and acceptance. Maintaining composure in the face of insults or hurt is detrimental to others. To avoid anger pain when forgiving, we also free other people, but also free ourselves from the chains of hate. Pause and consider. Does your anger truly result in positive outcomes, or is it merely a negative emotion? It is a double-edged sword that causes harm to both you and those around you, rather than providing assistance. You learn to control your anger. Peace, patience, and kindness are the Stoicism has already laid out a path for us to achieve true freedom. 2. Self-reflection in the Stoic view of life. Self-reflection is an important way to find peace and control your feelings. When someone is angry, self-reflection is more than just looking at themselves. It's a deep understanding of. The process of exploring the mind involves examining one's actions and thoughts. We can do this every moment by being honest with ourselves and not avoiding it. Eliminate our negative emotions, as this will assist us in establishing a solid foundation. Peace of mind, self-reflection is like looking at yourself in the mirror, but when we are angry, we look deeply into our souls. Step back and ask yourself, why am I angry? Is this anger good? Based on a real belief in fair justice, or is it just my ego taking over? As we get angry, questions help us calm down and face the real world, because thinking about ourselves helps us see that being frustrated doesn't make us better, it only makes us less smart and farther from peace. Think of a time you have ever been angry when someone hurt you or treated you badly. You'd probably get angry, but if you could catch yourself right then, feel what this really means to you and ask yourself, can I change it? Often when we reflect on what provoked our anger, we realize that it wasn't worth letting our feelings be so deeply touched these days. Self-reflection is also essential now that life is moving faster. We often feel tired, stressed and drained because of work and social pressures. Get angry quickly, but try to take a few minutes every day to ask yourself, how did I act today? What can I do differently tomorrow to be better? This habit not only helps us take control of our emotions and cultivate a resilient, tranquil environment. Many wealthy individuals, such as Bill Gates and Oprah Winfrey, have daily thoughts. Their habit of self-criticism helps them. Find balance in your life. Anger is a normal response, but we can overcome it once we fully comprehend it. Self-reflection is the key to finding out the deeper causes of our negative emotions. Allow us to let go and move on. We must no longer let anger run our lives, Marcus Aurelius wrote. Not having an opinion is no cause for concern. To keep your mind off things you can't change, always remember we value inner peace, and from that place we will never let anger take over our lives. Once more, are you ready to stop and think about what made you mad? Today, what can you learn from it to become a better person tomorrow? Feel free to share. Please share your story and thoughts in the third comment section. Mindfulness. Have you ever thought about why, in the middle of a busy and stressful life, so small things influence our susceptibility to negative emotions such as anger? Our whole mental state is making us lose our cool. This is where mindfulness, which is a central idea in Stoic thought, comes to light as a powerful cure. To assist us in slowing down and gaining control over our emotions, mindfulness can be beneficial. Stoicism isn't just a way to meditate, it's a state of being very aware. Being aware of what we're thinking, feeling, and why is important for living in the present. This is how eyes feel, the sage Epictetus once said. What matters is how you respond to the challenges you face. This emphasizes how you feel about events outside of our control don't cause anger or worry. Our responses to them do. If we become aware and alter our responses, we will discover the path to inner peace. Imagine that you are driving down a busy street when all of a sudden another car cuts you off. Many people would likely become enraged and either yell or speak out. Something bad may happen, but if you practice awareness instead of allowing your anger to control you, taking charge would make you stop and realize that the anger isn't really coming from you. Your response to the actions of the other driver, however, cannot be altered. The only thing you can change about another driver is how you react. Mindfulness helps us break this cycle of instant responses gives us a chance to take charge. It makes us think and ask questions. I asked myself, why am I so angry? Is this anger really necessary? It wasn't meant for me. And how would maintaining my composure help me assist you in calming your emotions and making wise choices? When making choices in everyday life, you can use awareness by focusing on your deep breaths and keeping your mind on the present time. Become fully aware of the situation. When anger strikes, ask yourself, is this anger worth it? Why am I letting it happen? This feeling takes over my whole mind. These questions don't just make you return to the present moment, but gradually halt the negative outbursts. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic thinkers, once said, "Stop caring about your feelings. Mindset, not the thing, hurts when you're upset about something outside of yourself. This is reversible, which raises one of the biggest issues. Stoic thought teaches us that we can't change the outside world, but we can. When we practice mindfulness, we control our response. We are improving our ability to manage our thoughts to prevent ourselves from succumbing to negative emotions. Mindfulness isn't about getting rid of all feelings like anger, but when you learn to stop and think, it's about being aware of them and choosing the right reaction. And if you don't let your feelings get the best of you, you will not only find maintain peace, but also focus on developing self-discipline to overcome it. Life is hard, so the next time you feel angry, will you choose to be mindful? To maintain your composure, embrace number 4. In modern life, we don't seem to understand the meaning of stillness and quiet. People are constantly occupied due to their work, knowledge and pursuits, trying to find something to do to reach their goal, and forgetting that sometimes real strength emphasizes that the act of stopping and finding stillness is what silence is all about. Silence is not merely a state of tranquility on the surface, but a profound mental state that allows for being self-aware and aware of one's thoughts is crucial. This is what we need to learn and get better at accepting. The quiet here isn't just a break in the events of life. This is the choice to look inside and face oneself and one's thoughts. Being quiet does not equate to being alone. Being quiet doesn't mean escaping the people and things around you. Ask yourself how long it's been since you knew how to live in it without letting it bother your inner peace. Since you stopped and really heard yourself, how long have you been alive, but not paying attention to the noise or the rush of information that gets in the way? We forget all too often that silence helps us hear the mind's words. We often fail to notice the things we overlook due to our busy schedules. Sometimes you can find peace in the quiet, the smartest ways to solve your problems. A real-life case from modern science has demonstrated the benefits of meditation, effects that are good for the brain, help lower stress, and improve mental health. Many people practice to regain balance, not to answer questions. Quiet moment. Thoughts don't go where they usually do, and there are no more distractions to divert the mind. Silence is where clarity. The philosophy of the Stoics also emphasizes how crucial it is. When we face problems in quiet, we learn not to speak out. Act without thinking when faced with problems or criticism. Emotionally, we can stop, watch, and decide what to do. Think carefully about a tough problem you're having in your life. A coworker, family problems, or personal problems when you let your anger or worry get the best of you. Take over. It's easy to slip up and make bad choices. But when you find silence, take a moment to think, and everything gets clearer. You understand that as long as you remain calm and don't allow fleeting emotions to interfere, you can solve any problem. Silence is not only a way to rest, but also an important part of growing as a person. We learn to notice ourselves and pay attention to our feelings when we are quiet. Being silent helps us think without letting our thoughts take over. We can change our behaviors and feelings more when we know ourselves better. If you choose to be quiet, you'll find that outside forces no longer affect you. You'll find genuine tranquility there before we proceed to the next lesson. 5. We'd like to take a moment to thank you for being with us almost the whole way through this video. You can learn and grow, and the fact that you're here to listen and think about it shows that you do. US is a great gift that I value every moment. Please help us spread these important messages. To spread these lessons to even more people, please click the like and share buttons below. Every video share is a small but important thing to do. Like the timeless, discover the benefits of Stoicism, and remember the first lesson. The fifth part is ready for you. Let's keep looking. And once again, thank you for sharing these timeless pieces of advice. Thank you again for your continued help. Being thankful can help you find inner peace and control your feelings. Stoic philosophy stresses thankfulness as one of its most important ideas. However, cultivating gratitude should not be confused with not only a way to keep your mind calm, but also a way to get over your anger and other negative emotions. But why and how can we be thankful? Stoic philosophers assert that gratitude encompasses more than it's not enough to just enjoy the good things in life. You have to accept everything, that whatever comes our way, whether it brings us joy or trouble. Marcus Aurelius. One of the famous Stoic thinkers once said, "When you wake up in the morning, think. What an amazing gift it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, and to enjoy love." This isn't just gentle advice, it's a rule for how to live your life. We should go about our lives. We often get stuck in the trap of blaming and whining. Stoic thought teaches us that when things don't go as planned, a task is a chance to grow. Imagine if you started every day with, consider how grateful you are for what you already have, rather than what you desire. What goals have you still not reached? Have you ever stopped enjoying the little things that are so important? Things in life, like your health, a cozy home, or even a simple meal that feeds you. Meal is when we stop thinking about what we don't have and start thinking about what we do have. Anger and other negative feelings slowly lose their power over us. Stoic philosophy says that being thankful has a greater meaning that we need to understand. Not only be thankful for the good things, but also for the hard things. Instead of getting angry and fighting fate when things don't go their way, our approach is to learn to view problems as lessons that life teaches us. For instance, if someone treats you badly, don't get mad. Instead, be thankful for I learned a valuable lesson about patience and forgiveness when I failed at work. Thank the experience for teaching you something that will help you grow. Additionally, being thankful isn't just an idea, it's also something you say. One way to practice thanks is to write about it every day in a journal. Things you're grateful for. This habit helps you keep a positive attitude. To keep from getting stuck in a cycle of anger, one familiar example from modern life is the people who are successful often say that they start their day by writing. Noting down 3 things for which they are grateful has helped them not only be successful, but also keep your life in balance and be happy. Ultimately, being grateful isn't just a choice, it's an important life skill to learn. To overcome our anger, we must learn to redirect our focus from negative thoughts to positive ones. Consider the positive aspects of what we already have and consider what you're taking away. Taking things for granted that you should be thankful for when problems, can you see them as chances to grow instead of things that are getting in your way? This is the being thankful has real power. It not only brings peace, but also helps us master. All of our feelings have number 6, trusting the natural order. Do you ever wonder why some things in life seem impossible? We often have to deal with terrible things that happen to us, like losing a job or breaking up with someone. The loss of a loved one or facing major life crises can cause anger, blame, and confusion. Stoic thought asserts that attempting to avoid these things will not be beneficial. People teach us to believe in the universe's natural order, which is something we can't change, can learn to accept and love. Let's look at a different case. To show this, let's say you're on a long journey and everything starts to go wrong. Abruptly, the plane begins to vibrate intensely as it approaches. Turbulence. People panic and cling to their seats out of fear, some even getting angry at the crew for the trouble. But if we think it's important to be cautious about how the weather or air conditions affect the plane, no one on board has the power to change. Rather than reacting with fear or anger, we have the option to accept the situation. Have faith in the crew's abilities. They have received training to manage such situations. Being able to accept the natural order of things in this kind of situation is a beneficial lesson. When we believe this, adverse things happen not because we did something wrong, but because that's how the world works. To not only calm down but also let go of our anger, it's like letting the plane fly. Life has its ups and downs, but we can get through them without worrying. Without getting too angry, let's take a closer look at our daily lives. Do you remember times when it seemed like everything you did was for nothing, or when nothing went as planned? We frequently become mired in negative emotions when things don't go our way. But consider this. Does anger help you change the situation, circumstances, or does believing that everything happens as planned, being able to respond to bigger orders, will free your mind from stress? When we stay cool, we not only lose our anger, but we also feel at peace. There is no choice but to stay calm inside, like a pilot in a storm. Stoicism advises trusting both what one can control and the world. It instructs us that life is a continuous flow and we should not fight it. We need to learn to trust and accept what the universe gives us. When we believe that things will work out as they should, we stop being angry and reach a peaceful state. This is a state of peace where we can deal with any problem without getting upset. Peace. We just talked about how powerful it is to trust in the natural order key. We'd like to show you the things that make people successful and help them grow as individuals. One equally powerful force is the ability to forgive. The next part will continue to show us how powerful forgiveness is. Of the seventh film, The Power of Sorry for That. Can you recall a moment when your anger towards someone was so intense that it felt like a heavy weight on your chest? It's possible that the thing you've been avoiding is the key to your freedom. Forgiveness. One of our most powerful tools is forgiveness, which we will discuss. From the outside, this idea may seem easy, but trust me, it could change your life in ways you never thought possible. It's a powerful thing to be able to let go and heal, whether you're having a difficult time forgiving someone who has hurt you or even forgiving yourself. Then why is it so important to forgive? Besides, why does it seem so hard to do so often? And now we're going to break it all down. This video might change the way you think about forgiveness. Trust me. When you leave this room, you'll have a new outlook and be ready to claim the peace that has been waiting for you the whole time. How much does it cost to hold on? First, let's talk about a painful truth. Holding on to anger or bitterness is like giving someone poison and expecting them to die. Doesn't that make a strong metaphor? It's also 100% true. You hurt yourself more when you hold on to bad feelings from a past hurt for too long. Really think about it. When we hold a grudge, we bring it with us everywhere. It gets into our work, our health, and even the people we trust. It does hurt to feel sad, but it hurts physically too. Anger that isn't dealt with can cause stress, which can lead to high blood pressure, heart disease, and even allergic diseases. But here's the catch. The person you're mad at, they probably have no idea how much weight you're holding. They're not the ones who are hurt by your anger. You are. These actions still affect you today, even though they are gone. This is where you have to forgive. There's no need to make excuses for unacceptable behavior or act like everything is okay. It's about getting away from things. It's like putting down a bag full of rocks to forgive someone. While forgiving doesn't change the past, it does reduce its power over you. What it really means to forgive you may be asking yourself, okay, I get that being angry is bad, but what does forgiveness really look like? That is a worthy question. It's not about hiding things when you forgive someone. It doesn't mean you have to forget what happened or put up with unacceptable behavior anymore. Instead, choosing to forgive someone or something means letting go of the mental hold it has on you. It's about picking freedom over pain and peace over anger. You forgive yourself, not the other person. In other words, it means, I won't let this hurt define me anymore. What if the person who hurt me doesn't deserve forgiveness? That's a question some of you may have. What if they say sorry again? I get it. Forgiving someone who really feels awful about what they did is one thing. Forgiving someone who doesn't see what they did wrong is something else. But the wonderful thing about forgiving someone is that it's not about how positive they are. It's for your own good. Sometimes the most important thing you can do to regain control is forgive someone who didn't ask. How forgiving someone can help them get better. It's not a one-time thing to forgive someone. It's a process. It's not just a mental process either. It's also deeply physical. Studies have shown that people feel less stressed, anxious, and even depressed when they forgive. It's possible for forgiveness to change the way your brain works. You need to fix yourself, not just let go of hurts from the past. Studies from the Mayo Clinic actually show that people who forgive others say they feel lighter, happier, and even like their relationships get better. In other words, when you forgive, you do more than just let go of negative feelings. You heal your mind and body. Even more intriguing is the fact that forgiving someone can make your defense system stronger. People who practice forgiveness are less likely to get headaches, sleeplessness, and other illnesses that are caused by stress. Lowering your cortisol levels, the stress hormone, has been linked to the emotional release that comes with forgiving someone. This makes you feel more balanced and calm. How to let go of shame and find self-worth. If you hurt someone, what do? What if you need to ask for forgiveness, or maybe even forgive yourself? Because it's linked to grief and shame, forgiving yourself can be even harder than forgiving other people. One of the best ways to get your happiness back is to forgive yourself. If you've ever done something wrong that hurt someone, whether you meant to or not, you may feel like you can't be forgiven. But the truth is that everyone makes mistakes. What you do next is very important. Being harsh on yourself for mistakes you've made in the past gets you stuck in a negative cycle. Forgiving yourself is the key to having a better, more caring relationship with yourself. Imagine not being mean to a friend who did something wrong. So why are you being so mean to yourself? Forgiving someone doesn't mean letting them off the hook for what they did. It means recognizing that you're human and allowing yourself to learn and grow from your mistakes. What happens when you forgive someone? One of the coolest things about forgiving someone is how it changes everything in your life. There are many ways to heal after you forgive someone, like your partner, a family member, a co-worker, or even yourself. All of a sudden, you can give other people more of your emotions. The connections you have get stronger, more caring, and more real. When you forgive others, you set a good example by healing them in ways that last much longer than one moment. The power of forgiveness grows even stronger when it opens the door to love and relationships. We actually block out the love and happiness we deserve when we hold on to anger. But when we forgive, we make room for the most important things: happiness, trust, understanding, and relationships. Think about a time when you let someone off the hook and how that changed the relationship. It could be a long-distance relative or a partner who apologized after hurting you. Did you feel better and lighter? That is the power of being able to forgive. It's not enough to fix one relationship. You need to make a life full of love and respect. The spiritual side of forgiving. For some of you, forgiving someone may also have a spiritual side to it. Forgiving others is an important part of many religious and spiritual beliefs. It helps us align ourselves with higher values like grace and compassion. In Christianity, for example, forgiving someone is not just a beneficial idea, it's required. The idea is that when we forgive others, we are also forgiven. Forgiveness is seen as an important step on the way to enlightenment in Buddhism. When we let go of negative feelings that keep us from finding inner peace, we can achieve it. People who practice modern mindfulness also teach that forgiving others is a way to free yourself from the past and fully enjoy the present moment. One thing is for sure, forgiving someone can help you become more like your true self, whether you see it as a spiritual practice or just a way to find peace in your life. How to get over your fear of forgiveness. For a lot of us, the thought of forgiving someone makes us feel weak. We are afraid that if we forgive, we will let ourselves be hurt again. Just because you forgive someone doesn't mean you have to see them again. You can forgive someone and still have good limits. It's about picking peace over the never-ending circle of anger. Lastly, remember that being afraid to forgive is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of power. When you have to let go of power over how other people act, it takes courage to choose healing over hurt. It frees you from anger and hatred, though. The power of forgiveness to change things. What should you expect when you finally choose to forgive? You get a kind of freedom that no one else has. You get your power back. You make your body, mind, and spirit better. You make room for deeper connections and partnerships that are more real. You make room in your life for happiness, peace, and love to grow. But forgiving someone requires more than letting go of the past. You have to choose to live in the present. Being strong for yourself is one of the best things you can do. I want to hear from you now. Have you ever felt that forgiveness can change things? What problems did you face along the way, and how did they change your life? Write what you think in the space below. Telling each other our stories helps us heal. Many thanks for watching, and you know that healing starts the moment you. Forgiving someone is a beneficial thing to do, but it's also challenging to do. According to the Stoic theory, forgiving someone is a powerful trait. Not only fixing our ties with other people, but also getting out of the prison of Stoics who teach hate say that forgiving someone is not a sign of weakness, but this is proof of inner strength and mental mastery. But why is forgiveness so important? Why is it important? And how can it change our everyday lives? We often find ourselves in painful situations, like when a friend betrays us. When there are mistakes in a relationship or unfair treatment at work, our first instinct is to keep anger and hate inside in the hopes that they will keep you safe. We prevent more harm, but does anger truly keep us safe, or does it become a threat? When we hold on to hate, it only makes us feel awful and keeps us from finding inner peace, make our minds larger and less able to think clearly. Forgiving someone not only calms your mind, but it also helps restore order. Stoicism tells us that forgiveness comes from and for our lives. The power of understanding and kindness, which do not stem from weakness or fear, is one example. Louis Zamperini, a former Olympic athlete, has a story about how he learned to forgive. During World War II, a soldier lost his plane in the Pacific. Ocean Zamperini lived for 47 days while floating at sea before being caught. While he was in war camps, he was treated badly for years, especially by a prison cop known as the Bird. This officer kept making Zamperini's life was hard, and he had to deal with both physical and mental pain. After enduring a great deal during the war, Zamperini returned to the US filled with anger at the events that had transpired. This anger followed him for years, causing problems in his personal and married life. Problems. But Zamperini took a stand when he went to a speech and realized the ability to forgive was crucial for releasing the burden of his past. In the past, he chose to forgive those who had hurt him, including the police officer. The bird Zamperini even planned to meet the people who had hurt him. I went to the camp to ask for forgiveness, but the officer never came. They agreed to meet. What mattered most was that Zamperini was at peace with himself. In his heart, he once said, "Forgiveness ends hatred." I experienced that feeling when I forgave him. I was finally free. However, consider who benefits the most from forgiveness. Who do we accept as the greatest, or is it really us? We are the ones who benefit from forgiveness. Forgiveness lets us let go of your anger and hate. And if you have lost it, find it again. For those who have felt the ease that comes from forgiving someone, you know how powerful this act is. It is not only something you do for other people, but it also serves as a gift. Stoics say that forgiveness doesn't mean ignoring someone in the end. Forgiveness is not about forgetting what you did wrong or the lessons you learned. Rather than forgetting, we choose to resist allowing hate and anger to rule our lives. When we choose to forgive, we take full control of our feelings, minds, and that's when we'll be at peace. Peace. Will you choose to forgive, to break free from the chains of, will you choose the power of healing over the weight of anger? Don't forget that forgiveness is a power that not only makes other people content, but is also, you can give yourself the best gift by allowing life to present you with opportunities. At times, it may seem normal to feel angry, but with the lessons learned, Stoic thought helps us see that anger only causes pain. We learn from Stoicism that staying calm in tough situations is beneficial for us. How can we manage our emotions and lives when we are unable to alter our circumstances? Whatever happens outside of us, we have full power over how we react. Remember that every time you choose peace over anger, you win. Every time you forget and accept yourself, it's a step toward freedom. Tranquility. When we truly comprehend and adhere to this theory, life becomes tranquil. Trust and a calm heart can solve any problem, making it lighter. If you learn how powerful Stoic theory is, you'll never need to be frustrated again. Come to me. You will be content if you live your life with calm, confidence, and kindness. If you liked this video, may you find real happiness and peace that won't change. If you don't know, please leave a 1-star note to let us know. Make this material better for you. Remember, self-acceptance and trust in the Stoic theory can bring lasting peace and contentment to your life. Embrace these principles and see the positive impact they can have on your well-being.